Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. In this video today, we're going to be going over my 2022 MSI Power Rankings now that two things. One, the tournament is just a couple weeks away, but two, we also know all 11 teams that will be participating at the tournament. I made an MSI update video a couple days ago talking about the fact that the CIS region will not be participating in MSI, so we will have two groups of 4 and one group of 3 for a total of 11 teams who won their region in the spring split and are now all coming into the same place. I'm a little bit upset right now because I just recorded this video, got all the way to the end of it. It's not a short video, and realized my mic was muted. So hopefully the mic's actually going this time. Hopefully we'll be able to get through this one without any issues. But also my mouse just broke as well. We're having a rough night so far. So hopefully we can bang this video out. Definitely drop a like if you guys do enjoy it. I would appreciate that so much. Subscribe, stay up to date on all my latest content. And of course, consider checking out the Patreon. First link in the description below if you want to get early access to all my videos before they go live on YouTube. Obviously, before we get into this power rankings, I have not watched all these teams. I have not watched all these regions. I didn't get to see them play the whole time. This is 11 different regions. There's nobody who knows everything about all these different teams and regions. I'm basing this off of looking at their rosters and seeing if I know any of the players and how good they are or how they've done previously. I'm looking at their regular season and playoff win-loss records and stuff like that, and then looking at how their region as a whole has done at the past 3 international events to give my best guess or idea or you know, my opinions on who the power rankings are. Obviously, there's going to be things that are wrong. There's going to be things that are bad, whatever. That's where you guys are going to come in. You're going to leave the comments down below letting me know what you guys think the power rankings are or who you'd move around or whatever. But, you know, don't be a weirdo. You don't got to flame. You don't got to do any of that. Just share your thoughts and opinions as well. With that being said, let's get right into this. So, starting out at number 11, we're going to be going with the Latin American team. And again, I'm sorry to Latin America. It's nothing personal. Like I said, you know, if you want, we can say that you're not last, you're second to last. We can say that the CIS is last and you're 11th out of 12. You know, don't hate me too much. But overall, this is Team A's. They have Lonely, Dimitri, Alone, 5 Kid, and Straight. They have a couple of Korean players and 3 Latin American players. Overall, they weren't like dominant in the Latin American or in the LLA regular season or anything like that. They went 9-5. So it's not like, you know, they were just some like God squad or anything like that. Then in the playoffs, they actually won 3-0, 3-1, and 3-2 eventually in the grand finals. So, you know, they had a close series in the end. It's not like they stomped the finals. It's not like they stomped the regular season. Overall, you know, what I look for, especially out of these kind of weaker emerging regions or minor regions or whatever, is somebody to like really dominate the regular season or really dominate, you know, the playoffs and show that they are better than the other teams in their region and show that, you know, there is a chance that they might actually be able to, you know, pull off some crazy upsets or crazy wins or anything. But if you're kind of in a already weaker region and you're already kind of struggling in playoffs or struggling in regular season, that's not going to give me too much confidence about you heading into the international tournaments. I got to get a drink of water real quick. I just recorded this whole thing and then, you know, trying to record it again. 1 second. So, and then in the top right here, I have the last 3 international tournaments where in 2020 Worlds, the LLA had a team go 2-2 in the play-ins before losing 0-3 in their best-of-5 match. At 2021 MSI, they had a team go 1-5 and then get eliminated. And then at 2021 Worlds and play-ins, they had a team go 0-4. So obviously, this has overall been one of the weaker regions internationally as of late, and I don't see any reason why Team A's would be necessarily better than the teams that they've sent to the last couple tournaments. So that's why I have them at number 11. At number 10, we are headed to Brazil. I'm going with the Red Canids. We have Guigo, Aegis, Grevthar, Titan, and JoJo, a full Brazilian team, I do believe. They went 11-7 in the CB LOL regular season, and then they actually lost their first playoff match. They went 0-3, which is a little bit rough, but then obviously they rattled off enough wins to make it to MSI, 3-2, 3-1, 3-1, 3-2. But if we look at Brazil or the CB LOL as a whole at the last couple international tournaments, in 2020 Worlds, they had a team go 1-3 at the play-ins, get eliminated. MSI, they had a team go 2-4 and then get eliminated in stage 1. And then at the 2021 World Championships, they had a team go 1-3 in the play-ins before then losing 2-3 in their best of 5. So overall, Brazil, a little bit better results internationally than the LLA as of late. You know, you could argue maybe the LLA team, you know, looked better. They didn't drop a playoff series, nothing like that. I think these two are close, but again, I think that the CB Lowell's had a little bit better international results, so I'm going to favor them a little bit, but I consider, the CB Lowell and the LLA to be pretty comparable overall in relative strength, and neither of these teams, seemed like they dominated their region, even though they're in kind of weaker regions. Number 9, we are going to Australia, or Osh, whatever you want to say. We have Order, Biopanther, Kevi, Kissy, Puma, and Corporal. They actually have a Japanese support and then some Australian players. This team went 11-10 in the LCO. Really nothing crazy there, but they heated up in the playoffs. They definitely gained some momentum there. 3-0, 3-0, 3-0, and then a 3-2 in the grand final. And the Osh has been dealing with so many issues. They had like the OPL or whatever that dissolved. That's why the North American players could then go, that's why the Osh players could then go to North America and be counted as residents and everything. But despite that, the LCO has actually been doing kind of okay internationally. Last 3 international tournaments, 2020 Worlds, they lost in the play-ins knockout stage. So, they made it to the knockout stage. MSI of 2021, they actually made it to stage 2. They got out of the group with Unicorns of Love in it, and they didn't do good in stage 2. I think they went 1-9, but they made it there. And then in 2021 Worlds, they lost in the play-in knockouts again. So despite all the issues and having all their players taken away and all their funding taken away and all their resources and everything, LCO has still been kind of getting some results. Now, hey, this team was not great in the regular season. They went 11-10. But I think their playoff run, looks pretty impressive. It seems like they might be coming into this with some momentum. But I really do consider those bottom 3 teams, I think they're all going to be relatively close. So we'll have to see how that goes. At number 8, I have the Istanbul Wildcats. This is a team from Turkey. Starscreen, Ferret, Saren, Holy Phoenix, and Farfetch. The Istanbul Wildcats, I feel like they've been popping up at all the tournaments recently. They've been doing really, really well. They went 14-4 in the TCL regular season and then 3-0, 3-0 through the playoffs. So that is obviously very, very strong. Now, Turkey's kind of interesting because we know there's a lot of good Turkish players. We know the Turkish league has had a lot of good players come out of it, but it seems like as of late, we haven't been getting a ton of those like super crack, super insane Turkish players, coming out of the TCL, and it's not like a ton of their players have been, leaving and going elsewhere either over the last few years. International results are decent. 2020 Worlds, they went 2-2 in the play-in group stage, and then they actually beat Mad Lions 3-2, not Istanbul, but the TCL team. I believe it was like super massive or whatever, but then they went on to lose 0-3, didn't make it to the main stage. MSI, they went 1-5, and then 2021 Worlds in the play-ins, they went 2-2, and then lost 2-3 in their best of 5. So, some decent international results. They've had some big wins, they've had some big upsets, but still nothing too crazy. They're definitely still one of the weaker regions. At number 7, I'm going with the Saigon Buffaloes. This is the VCS. As you can see over here, we have not seen the VCS at the last 3 international tournaments, due to pandemic-related stuff, but they are finally back. VCS has historically been a really, really, powerful region, a region that's annoying to play, that no one wants to deal with, interesting picks, interesting strategies, and able to pull them off. Saigon Buffalo, we have Hazmed, Bean J, Froggy, Big Koro, and Taki. But in the VCS, they only went 9-5, and then in the playoffs, they won 3-2 and then actually lost 1-3. How are they going to MSI? Gigabyte Marines, I do believe, is participating in some other tournament. So instead, the VCS is sending Saigon Buffalo. Again, they weren't a great team in the regular season. They didn't really, do anything too crazy in the playoffs, obviously. And the VCS hasn't gotten to play internationally for a couple years. Maybe that means they have some crazy strats they've been hiding. Maybe that means they're ready to go. But I'm keeping my expectations low. I'm keeping the Saigon Buffaloes at number 7. Not expecting too much from them. But overall, I still do respect, the VCS as a region, obviously. At number 6, we have Detonation FocusMe. This is a team that we know a lot about. It seems like they just keep getting better and better every year, as does the LJL. They have Evi, Steel, Yaharong, Utapon, and Harp. Some of these are names we are familiar with that we know really, really well, and then some new faces as well. This team was dominant, 17-2 in the LJL. That's definitely something I really, really like to see, something I'm looking for, in this power ranking. They did go 3-0 and then 3-2 to win the championship. And if you look at their last couple of international results, we have 2020 Worlds where they went 1-3 in the play-ins and then were eliminated. MSI, they went 2-4, getting a little bit better. And then obviously 2021 Worlds, they went 3-1. They won their group in the play-ins for Worlds, which I believe had Cloud9 in it. So they made it directly to the main stage. Yes, they did go 0-6 there in the main stage group stage, but they still made it, and they're still slowly getting better. And it seems like at each tournament they just perform a little bit better. I have Detonation FocusMe at number 6. Number 5, another familiar face. We just keep getting a lot of these same teams dominating these, minor regions. PSG Talon, Hanabi, Juhan, Bay, Unified, and Kaiwing. In the PCS, they did go 16-2. Then 3-0 actually dropped a series 1-3, but then won 3-2, 3-2. So it's not like they dominated the playoffs or anything like that. They dropped a series. They had some very close series, but the PCS and PSG Talon specifically has been really, really good internationally. We have 2020 Worlds were in the play-ins. They went 3-1, and then ended up going out after going 2-4 in the group stage. Then at MSI they went 4-2. They made it to stage 2 where they went 6-4. Then they ended up losing 1-3 in the semifinals, but they still made it to the semifinals at MSI, which they knocked out Cloud9. Prevented them from going to the semifinals there. And then at 2021 Worlds, the two PCS teams went 1-3 in play-ins, and then won 3-2 and lost 0-3. And then the other team went 3-3 in the main event group stage. So, overall, PCS is definitely a strong international team. They're definitely a strong region, and it's mostly PSG Talon carrying them. And obviously, this PSG Talon lineup's a little bit different than we've seen previous, but we'll have to see how it goes. This is never a team to sleep on. That's why I have them at number 5. Getting into the spicy stuff. At number 4, I'm going with Evil Geniuses, Impact, Inspire, Jojo Pune, Danny, and Vulcan. Obviously, in the LCS regular season, nothing too crazy. They just went 9-9. They actually won a tiebreaker to get 4th place. They could have very easily been 6th place. But there are some excuses, and there's some potential reasons why this was. Obviously, they had a couple really, really young players in important big carry positions. Danny only had 1 split under his belt. Jojo Pune was an absolute rookie. But this team has some very good players as well. Impact, Inspired, and Vulcan is a nice core to be building around. They started off the playoffs with a 2-3 loss, but then 3-1, 3-0, 3-0, 3-0 to claim the LCS title. This was super, super good. Now, the LCS has not been insane at international tournaments. We all know that. 2020 Worlds, they didn't have a team get out of groups, none of the 3 teams. And then at MSI in 2021, like I said, Cloud9 did not get out of groups. They did not make it to semifinals. And then at the most recent World Championships, we actually had one of our best international tournaments in a while. All 3 teams going 3-3, 2 of them not making it out of groups. TL lost in the tiebreaker. 100 Thieves didn't even get a tiebreaker. But then Cloud9, making it to the quarterfinals. Yes, they lost 3-0. But overall, having all 3 teams go 3-3, that was a pretty good tournament for NA. So Evil Geniuses head into MSI with some momentum. NA maybe picking up a little bit of momentum at their most recent international event. We'll have to see how that goes together. At number 3, I have G2. Broken Blade, Yankos, Caps, Flockhead, Targamas. That mid-jung duo of Yankos and Caps is just so nasty, especially when they're at their best. But this team definitely has some youth, some inexperience, and some flaws as well. How are Flockhead and Targamas going to do? BB, I believe his last international event was going 0-6 with TSM. We will have to see how this all plays out. This team went 11-7 in the LEC regular season, just like Evil Geniuses. Nothing crazy, but still, better in the regular season than EG was, and had a very, very similar playoff run. Yes, they lost 1-3 in the first round, but then they had 3-0, 3-0, 3-0, 3-0, a crazy run that maybe even in part inspired what Evil Geniuses was then able to do. We know Europe, obviously, decent to pretty good internationally. They had this is 2020 Worlds, they had a team go 1-5 and lose out. And then they had a team lose in the quarterfinals, and then G2 losing in the semis. MSI, they lost 3-2 in the semis. Mad Lions, I believe, lost to Damwon Kia just barely. And then at the most recent Worlds, this was one of Europe's weaker performances in a while. They had a team go 1-5 and get knocked out, a team go 2-4 and get knocked out, and then they had Mad Lions get 3-0 in the quarterfinals. So, G2, they have some issues. They have some strengths coming in. Europe as a whole not coming off a great international performance, but I still do kind of give them the slight favorite over North America heading into this. North America needs to beat them and improve. They are better. But yeah, getting into the top 2 here, we have RNG, Bin, Wei, Xiaohu in the mid lane this time at MSI, and Gala and Ming. This team went 12-4 in the LPL in matches, but their game score was actually only 25-14, which isn't that insane. I want to say it's below a 70% win rate. And in the playoffs, they weren't dominant either. 3-2, 3-1, 3-2. A lot of close matches, a lot of close games. This is not, some total LPL stomping powerhouse or anything like that. So maybe a potential upset opportunity for Europe or NA here. Who knows? But, heading into the tournament, you can't put them above them in a power ranking or anything like that. Obviously, China has been very, very good recently. Some people would say the best region in the world. Some people would say second best. It just kind of depends. At 2020 Worlds, they had a team not get out of groups after going 3-3. They had a team lose in the quarterfinals, and they had a team lose in the finals. But other than that, they had RNG win MSI last year. They're the defending champions, and then they had EDG win Worlds. But at number 1 for my power ranking, it has to be none other than T1. This isn't predictions. It doesn't mean I'm saying T1 is gonna win or anything like that, but it means coming into the tournament, I don't think there's any way you can't have them as the favorites, as the number 1 team in a power rankings, whether you think they're gonna not play well or not stack up to China or whatever. This team just went 18-0 in the regular season. They went 36-7 in games. In the playoffs, they went 3-0 and then 3-1. This is Zeus, Owner, Faker, Gumayusi, and Keria. Super, super nice mix of obviously veteran talent, Faker, best player of all time, and then some cracked Zoomers like Gumayusi and Keria. We'll have to see how this goes. But obviously, Korea as a region, they did win the 2020 World Championships. They had 2 teams lose in quarters. MSI, they ended up getting second. And then they had, at this past World Championship, the team lose in the finals and 2 teams lose in semis. So, Korea, even though they didn't win the last Worlds or the last MSI, they've had some very, very good finishes. And again, you could still definitely make the argument that Korea is the best region in the world heading into this MSI. But the run that T1 is on right now, they're coming into this thing as the favorites. And somebody's going to have to take them out. Somebody's going to have to knock them off, and we'll see whether or not that happens. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. That is my 2022 MSI Power Rankings. Now that we have all the teams locked in, definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate that so much. Leave a comment down below letting me know what you think I got right, what you think I got wrong, or what your power rankings look like. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe, stay up to date on all my latest content. Consider checking out the Patreon. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.